Well, it appears that Joe Biden isn't nearly as popular as his numbers claim he is, at least on Twitter. That's according to a recent audit, which found that out of Biden's more than 22 million followers, nearly half of those are actually fake accounts. Now, this audit was conducted by the software company SparkToro, and they use a tool to look at everything from profile pictures to profile history to profile location. And in doing so, they found that more than 49% of the followers on the official POTUS account on Twitter are actually fake. Now, this all comes as billionaire Elon Musk has announced that he is putting his $44 billion deal to buy Twitter on hold because he says he doesn't quite believe Twitter's claim that less than 5% of the accounts on their platform are fake.
20% fake, spam accounts, while 4 times what Twitter claims, could be much higher. My offer was based on Twitter's SEC filings being accurate. Twitter's CEO publicly refused to show proof of less than 5%. This deal cannot move forward until he does.
Now, Biden has yet to respond specifically to this report. However, in the past, he has talked a lot about bots, or more specifically, Russian bots. So it does raise the question of how he would feel about these new claims that nearly half of his own followers are those bots he claims to be so concerned about.
The Russians don't want me to be the nominee. They spent a lot of money on bots on Facebook, and they've been taken down saying Biden's a bad guy. They don't want Biden running.
So it's bad for Biden, and it's also bad for Twitter's current owners, as it appears that the percentage of his followers on Twitter that are fake is actually higher than his current approval rating from the American people, which stands at just 39%.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration has put on hold its plans to create a so-called disinformation governance board. The initiative had faced weeks of backlash, with critics describing it as a dystopian ministry of truth. One proposal was to allow verified Twitter users to edit other users' tweets. In response to the outcry, the White House's newly appointed spokesperson has said that outside forces mischaracterized Biden's initiative.
The board was put forth for a purpose, right? To make sure that we really did address what was happening across the country when it came to disinformation. It's going to pause. There's been a mischaracterizations from outside forces. This is what's happening. There is a pause. We did not have an involvement in this at all.
You've got the White House trying to distance themselves now from the whole Ministry of Truth disinformation campaign. The press secretary doing the, well, we know nothing about this. I may be showing my age, but some people may remember the old sitcom Hogan's Heroes, where you had Sergeant Schultz constantly saying, I know nothing, I see nothing. And maybe that's what the Biden administration is going to do now, completely disavow knowledge of their own Ministry of Truth. I think it's ironic that these guys are trying to do a disinformation or Ministry of Truth to try and ferret out the truth, while we know that a lot of the information being put out on his Twitter account and that he relied on with the whole Russian hoax was just made up. While you're having this whole bot controversy on Twitter, part of what this Ministry of Truth or disinformation was going to do is try to ferret out bots that were putting disinformation out there. I think there were probably less bots putting out disinformation than were followers of President Biden. I think the best indication, frankly, is that you're seeing Democrats in the House, in the U.S. House, retire in huge numbers. They don't want to go back to being backbenchers. They don't want to lose their committee chairmanships. So you're seeing people that are leaving on the Democratic side. And you've even got Democratic consultants, predicting a slaughter at the ballot box this November. So I think everything that we're hearing from their side would indicate that to Republicans, it might be good for the Republican side.